Hello everyone, my name is Hilal Arslan. I am working as an assistant professor at Istanbul Gedik University. I received my bachelor's and master's degree in environmental engineering from Marmara University, and I obtained my PhD degree in occupational safety from Marmara University. Today, I would like to talk to you about association between PM10 concentration and hospital admissions for asthma disease in Canakkale, Turkey. I have divided my talk into four sections: introduction, data and methodology, results and discussion, and the last part is conclusion. In introduction parts, I will talk about criteria air pollutants, the sources of air pollution, and health impact of air pollution. Criteria air pollutants can harm human health and environment and cause property damage. These pollutants are ozone, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, lead, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide. And outdoor air pollution originates from natural and anthropogenic sources, while natural sources contribute substantially to local air pollution in arid regions, more prone to forest fires and dust storms. The contribution from human activities far exceeds natural sources. Transportation, waste disposal, industrial and agricultural activities are examples of anthropogenic sources. And exposure to high levels of air pollution can cause a variety of adverse health outcomes. It increases the risk of respiratory infections, heart disease, and lung cancer. And recent epidemiological studies support that air pollutant concentration are significant risk factor, particularly for respiratory disease. Perez et al. Found that a significant relation between PM10 concentration and daily emergency hospital admission were found in Switzerland. Their results show that every 10 microgram per cubic meter increase in PM10 concentration may result in 1.4 percentage increase in respiratory disease. And Sun 13 et al. Found that the relationship between the air pollutant concentration and COPD were investigated in Spain. A high level of PM10 exacerbated COPD patients. And in Turkey, air pollution has become an important issue because of the factors such as increasing population and associated urbanization, rapid industrialization, continuous migration, and heavy utilization of fertilizers. Increasing pollutants concentration results in adverse health effects. Although air pollution health disease relation is very crucial for the country, very limited epidemiological studies have been carried out. And World Health Organization air quality guideline has been created to protect human health from air pollutants. According to this guideline, daily threshold limits of PM 2.5 and PM10 are 25 and 50 microgram per cubic meter respectively. And this study aims to investigate the relationship between PM10 concentration and hospital admission for asthma in Canakkale province of Turkey for the period 2014-2018. In the data and methodology parts, I will talk about hospital and air quality data in Canakkale and statistical analysis. The air quality data, PM10 and PM2.5, are obtained from the Natural Air Quality and Monitoring Network database. The daily respiratory hospital admissions numbers are obtained from the Canakkale 18 Mart University Hospital database. Data are collecting according to International Classification of Disease 10th Revision, which is diagnostic base grouping developed by the World Health Organization, and daily respiratory hospital admissions numbers is derived from the hospital database for each patient's age and gender. And figure 1 shows the distribution of 4 air quality monitoring station and black numbers with green circle in Canakkale, and numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 mark the location of Canakkale, Lapseki, Biga, and Chan air quality monitoring stations respectively. The age terms represent the Canakkale 18 Mart University Hospital located in the city center, and the location of the basic thermal power plant and factories are also shown in the figure. The relationship between PM10 with hospital admissions are investigated for the Canakkale Merkez Air Quality Station. This is the number 1 in figure 1, as it is the closest station to the hospital. An effect of pollutants on respiratory disease were analyzed from log 0 to log 6 for each patient's age group. In this study, odds ratio and their 95% confidence intervals were calculated considering limit values of air pollutants from WHO guideline, and the effect duration of pollutants on each age group were determined. And in order to find the locations and seasons with the highest concentration of pollutants, the seasonal variation over the region were extracted by using the inverse distance weighted interpolation technique. This technique is known as one of the most commonly used methodology in air quality studies to find out the sources of atmospheric pollutants, and polar plot is used. When the measurement values in Canakkale were examined, it was found that the PM10 values generally exceed the WHO limit values at the Chan station, particularly higher PM 2.5 and PM10 concentration were observed at Merkez and Lapseki station during 2018 due to the long-range transport of dust particles from the Sahara. And as for the seasonal distribution of the pollutants, highest seasonal PM10 concentration levels are shown during winter and followed by spring, autumn, summer season, respectively. When compared to other stations, the highest mean value was found in southern parts, as shown in figure 3. One of the main reasons causing high concentration values of the pollutants can be explained by the location of Chan thermal power plant in Chan district, where it creates a risk for human health. In this study, to examine the relationship between pollutant concentration and wind speed as well as direction, color plots have been drawn. The color scale of color plots of air pollutants show the concentration, and the radial scale show the wind speed. In order to indicate the source of the emissions, polar plots to the pollutants were applied for cold, and this is the November to April, and the warm season, it's May to October. Figure 4 shows that locally sourced PM10 were present as potentially indicated by Elevated concentration at low wind speeds. But the highest concentration were experienced with southeasterly winds when wind speeds were above 8 meters per second at Chan and Lapseki station. When winds were from southwesterly direction, PM10 was higher at Biga and Market station. And asthma is the most common respiratory disease among children worldwide. Generally, it starts in childhood, although it is also could develop in adults. It affects people of all age. In 2018, dust particles were transported from the Sahara. It increased the number of asthma cases. In this study, odds ratio and 95% confidence intervals for PM10 and asthma was calculated. The highest odds ratio values between PM10 and asthma were found at log 6 in the between 0 to 14 age group, and it is followed by the 15 to 34 age group. And the conclusion part, the highest odds ratio values between PM10 and asthma were found at log 6, and it's followed by the 15 to 34 age group. It was found that the age group 15 to 35 is the most affected at log 4, while the age group 35 to 64 and higher than 64 are most influenced at log 6. The highest seasonal PM10 concentration levels are shown during winter and followed by spring, autumn, and summer seasons, respectively. And meteorological factors such as wind speed, precipitation, and events such as dust transport in Canakkale lead to an increase in PM10 values in a short time. Due to the prevailing wind direction, pollutants are transported from areas such as Biga and Istanbul to Canakkale Market Station. And it's all for my presentation. And thank you for listening to me.